And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Loots with no face cam because I am too lazy to get myself presentable. Deal with it. Look, it's time to count down the top 10 cards under 100k in NBA 2K22. My team, I thought about waiting to do this tomorrow because I'm sure there's going to be some good cards in the Swish set, but you know what? I have nothing to upload today. So, you're just going to have to deal with it. Oh, at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about the podcast. You guys should definitely stick around to the end of that, or don't. Doesn't matter. Number one honorable mention, because we have to do some honorable mentions in here, because I just can't just have a top 10. I need to have like a top 15, but I can't say top 15 because it doesn't hit the algorithm the same, Lance Stevenson. Lance Stevenson is incredible. For whatever reason, you're unable to search him on the auctions, which is slightly annoying, so you're going to have to do it from your actual collection instead. But Lance Stevenson is a top-tier point guard option for under 100K. 6'5", 228, so he's going to be a little bit on the bigger side. He's not necessarily going to be like a small glass cannon guy. At this point, every card is basically maxed out. So it's really, you're just looking at like SIGs and player build at this point to make your decisions, and preference, really. Lance Stevenson is near perfect. This is probably the closest thing we're going to get to an invincible Lance Stevenson this year, but with 2K, who knows? You never really know. The only thing he really needs is like set shooter. Other than that, he's perfect. Like, he has every badge, which is going to be the same for every card on this list, honestly. But Lance Stevenson is the perfect complement point guard. You can run him, he can 3-hunt, he can attack the rim, he can play a traditional facilitator, he can defend, he can do everything. He is fantastic. I mean, we all know about Lance Stevenson at this point. Next honorable mention is a card that I think I'm higher on than a vast majority of people. Honestly, he's still my starting power forward, and that's Nate Thurman. Nate Thurman is, in my opinion, one of the most slept on cards in the game. He came out with a lot of hype. I think when he first dropped, a lot of people hyped him, similar to Jermaine O'Neal, where he had a lot of hype for like 4 days and then just died off. Like, Nate Thurman is ridiculous. 6'11". His jumper is the same jumper as his pink diamond, and I think it does leave a little bit to be desired. It releases a little bit low, and it's kind of a weird timing situation, but I think once you start using Nate Thurman, it's one of those things that you're going to be able to clear it just fine, Like, I wouldn't consider myself one of the greenest players in the world, or even in the content creation sphere, or just in general, but I can still green very consistently with Nate Thurman. It's a very easy to green release once you actually get the release timing down with the meter off, just because he releases it from a very unique point. Now, he does need badge additions for sure. Clutch shooter, tight handles, because he can actually dribble extremely well for somebody of his size, which is kind of one of the things that is a huge benefit to him. Chef would be necessary. Hyperdrive, ankle breaker, difficult shots actually is something I recommend giving him, because you can shoot on the run mid-ranges extremely effectively with Nate Thurman. So, I mean, realistically, Nate Thurman is fire. Next honorable mention is a card I didn't cover in the budget list everyone brought up, Andre Iguodala. Shout out to Iguodala. One of my best friends is a just ungodly Andre Iguodala hype beast. He loves Andre Iguodala so much, dude. It is actually sickening. And I don't know where this love comes from, probably because of how hard he used to dunk, but Iggy is top tier. For the price he's going for, which is roughly around 30 to 35K, I mean, you can get him for less. Sometimes he's a little bit more. He's kind of a tough card to figure out price-wise because he fluctuates so much, just because we've gotten so many good point guards. 6'6", elite defender. The jump shot is actually really clean. Andre Iguodala does everything pretty well, nothing exceptionally well aside from defending. He booms really hard too, but he's nasty. Andre Iguodala is fine. He would be higher up if there weren't two better options, Bobby Jones is our next honorable mention. Honestly, I consider putting him like towards the top of the actual top 10, but I recognize that I overhype Bobby Jones quite a bit. I personally like his jump shot. Some people are going to say it sucks. It is what it is. No big deal. Bobby Jones is one of the most electric defensive players in this entire game. Also, like, isn't it just fun to hoop with the guy who absolutely looks like he has no business on a basketball court? Because Bobby Jones looks like he doesn't have any business. Now, you need to give him some badges. I gave mine Chef on gold, and it's fine. You don't necessarily need to burn a Hoff Chef badge on Bobby Jones, but I'm sure he would be elite if he had it. But his shooting badges are on gold, which would seem like a problem, except for the type of player he is with his defensive animations and his player build and defensive Hoff badges. He is going to be the perfect off-ball small forward. He can play the power forward okay too. At 6'9", he has like Hoff rim protector and stuff. But if you're looking for a perfect off-ball small forward that can guard the point guard if necessary, Bobby Jones is phenomenal. All right, let's get down to the actual list now. The actual top 10, the meat and potatoes. Every time I type in Dwayne, it goes to Dwayne Bacon, which I wish. Dwayne Wade is number 10. Dwayne Wade is one of the best 3 hunting point guards that you can possibly pick up for under 100K. Now, I mulled over the possibility of putting Havlicek here, and the reason I did not put Havlicek here is because he cannot play the point guard position. If Havlicek could play the point guard position, I would have had him here instead of Dwayne Wade for sure. Don't get me wrong, Havlicek is an effective shooting guard, but I think Dwayne Wade edges him out just a little bit with his ability to play point guard at 6'4". But Dwayne Wade's fantastic. I mean, he has some shooting badges like Chef on gold, which do limit his potential just a tad bit. But at the same time, with base 98 or Dwayne Wade base, I think I said Dwayne Wade based. He's phenomenal. And Dwayne Wade is 6'4". He can move well. Nothing wrong. Number 9, Rudy Gay. He is one of the more expensive cards on this list. I don't know why I said that. Like I was revealing some like crazy truth to the world right there. But Rudy is, although expensive, straight up phenomenal. 6'8", 230. He moves well. I mean, we've been singing his praises all year, so there's not too much to dissect here. All the problems that arise with, Pink Diamond and Galaxy Opal Rudy are solved with this card, which they weren't really huge problems because you just add the badges before anyway, but now he has all the badges that he was quote unquote missing. Rudy is ridiculous. Rudy Gay base is one of the best releases in the game. I mean, we've all used Dissinger, we've all used Rudy at this point, so we know about the base itself. He's perfect. I mean, he's near perfect. He can play the shooting guard. I actually prefer him at the small forward, which I know a lot of people do run him at the shooting guard due to his size, but for whatever reason, I think it just feels more natural to me to run him at the small forward, so that's where I run him at. He is my bench small forward right now. Bobby Jones is starting. I just like Bobby Jones a lot, but Rudy can do it all. And I honestly believe this is probably going to be the closest thing we receive to an invincible Rudy card. But with 2K this year, who knows? Truly, who knows? You just never know at this point. Number 8, DeMarcus Cousins. You could argue he should be higher on this list. I mean, I rank it in a top 10, but I'm really just telling you 10 cards that you should look to pick up at this point, The rankings are very subjective at this point of the year because every card is near perfect. But DeMarcus Cousins is one of the best point centers that you can pick up in this game, especially for the price he's going for, which is right around 25 to 29K, which is an absurdly low price for a card of this quality, right? This card can move. He can move. I think the one issue I have with him is his jump shot isn't the greatest, especially off the dribble. I think off the catch and shoot, it's fine, but off the dribble, I don't think it's incredibly good. But you're essentially getting a 6'11", a massive ball handler here for 27K that can match up with some of the best big men in the game. And I think that does count for something. I barely even look at tendencies and stats anymore at this point, just because it really doesn't matter. I mean, we're not sniffing cards with under 85 three-pointers and stuff at this stage in the game, so none of that really matters. And his badge count is elite. I mean, most cards that come out are going to have every single badge in the game minus like 4. It's just really about Hoff badges, so who cares? Number 7, Bulls legend, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo is a super sweat lord player, so for that reason, he's a little bit more expensive than some of the other cards from this set. Now, he's not crazy expensive. I've seen him fluctuate between about 48K and about 60. Looks like right now he's kind of sitting right around 50 to 55K, somewhere in that region. And I think that's a really good price for him. I mean, I was going to say that I think he might be overpriced, but I think that's an appropriate price for Lonzo Ball for how good he is. Lonzo, I personally believe, is significantly better on current gen than he is on next, though he's fine on both. It doesn't really matter, Lonzo plays elite defense. He's 6'6", so he's not too big where he's going to be unwieldy, but he's also not too small where he's going to be able to defend like a bigger point guard too. And his base is actually really solid. So another card from this set, number 6, DeMar DeRozan. Now, DeMar DeRozan is budget T-Mac. He's T-Mac that you can buy for right around 40K. I've seen him dip as low as 35, which is, I think, that's a steal for DeMar DeRozan. It is. He, I think, actually moves better than T-Mac on current gen. Now, that's just a personal preference because I literally do use both of them, sometimes in the same lineup. And I think I prefer DeMar on current gen, honestly. On next gen, obviously, T-Mac is king, but DeMar is 6'7". He has everything is the exact same as T-Mac. I mean, as far as like SIGs, jump shot, he's got Hoff Limitless, Hoff Chef. I mean, just like Rudy, every issue that we had with previous DeMar DeRozan cards this year has been addressed with this card. He can shoot. He has the correct badges. He's ridiculous. He obviously is going to boom on everybody. I am a little upset that they gave us the 3-point shooting DeMar DeRozan as a Raptor. Why we got the last two DeMars as Raptors is honestly sacrilegious, especially being that if any DeMar DeRozan was going to be considered a 99 overall card, it should probably be the Chicago Bulls one where he was like top 5 in MVP voting for a little bit. But whatever, what do I know? I don't work at 2K. It's fine. It's just a salty Bulls fan. DeMar DeRozan is fantastic. You should definitely go pick him up. No question about it. Number 5, Thon Maker. Now, Thon Maker is a little bit of a, I want to say overhyped card. I want to say he's a bit overhyped. But it is what it is. He's an overhyped card, but he's still good. You know, he's overhyped for a reason. He's 7 foot tall, gangly for no reason. Good jump shot. I mean, he can move. He's just not going to be the greatest interior or perimeter defender. But when it comes to the perimeter, that doesn't mean as much because this year all you have to do is just contest shots, and Thon Maker can do that in spades, being that he's 7 foot tall with like incredibly long arms. So, I mean, for that reason, I think he is worth his price. Just kind of lower the hype on him just a little bit is what I would say. Hey, it's your boy Cheap Loots from the Editor's Suite. I forgot to include Mo Bamba here, who's supposed to be number 4 on this list. Mo Bamba is absolutely incredible. He's essentially slightly better Kristaps Porzingis. He blocks shots at an incredible clip. He roughly goes for around 40 to 50K normally. His price has been fluctuating a little bit, so I would say he's absolutely the 4th best card in this game. He has made me take Kristaps out of my lineup for the first time, so I just wanted to bring that up. Anyways, back to the video. Oh man, number 3, Hakeem Olajuwon. Okay, look, I'll be honest, there are issues with this card. But those issues are trumped by the fact that he is absolutely massive, has just a huge player build, a fantastic jump shot because they changed his jumper. I personally love it. Some people are going to say it's too slow. Don't care. I think it's phenomenal. 7 foot tall, 255. Hakeem is going to be a monster on the interior. He's going to be able to stroke from deep. He can ball handle. He's just not got the greatest dribble 6, but it's not a big deal. 98 interior, 92 perimeter. He's going to be able to do it all. This card is ridiculous. Like, when we got a hero Hakeem, I really didn't think too much of it. I mean, I thought, okay, yeah, he'll be good. Hakeem's been good all year, you know, no big deal. But this card is so much better than I had anticipated. And I would put Hero Duncan right here, too. I mean, the reason I didn't put Hero Duncan on this list is because I would say Hero Duncan and Hakeem are going to be equal in the fact of, like, what, not exactly what they bring to your team, but as far as how good the two cards are. So I would put Hakeem and Tim Duncan right here. And Hakeem is just so huge. Like, if you were to run Hakeem and Tim Duncan next to each other, you're going to run a Twin Towers situation that's going to be ridiculous and very difficult for anyone who's playing against you to get to the rim, attacking those two. And both of them have phenomenal new jump shots. So Hakeem's awesome. He's just a little bit too expensive, and that's due to the Will lock-in coming tomorrow. Number 2, don't worry, I didn't mess these two up. Larry Johnson. My word. I talked about him in my budget card list. I mean, he's floating between 25K and sometimes lower than 25, but roughly around 25 to 29K is like the general price point for him. Larry Johnson is no joke one of the best point guards in this game, and I know I'm going to get crucified for saying that, especially because he's at number 2. But Larry Johnson, granted, he does need some badge increases, especially in the shooting department. Huge player build, 1 gold tooth, which I just really am infatuated with the 1 gold tooth. It's such an early 90s thing, and I love it. Larry Johnson's one of the best point guards in the game. I'm not even going to talk about him too much. And then number 1. Who could it be? Could it be anyone else? No, of course not. It's Danny Granger. Danny Granger is awesome. Now, if you're going to pick up 2 point guards and you have 50K MT, let's say, well, no, if not 50K is a little bit too small. Let's say you have 75K MT and you want to pick up 2 elite level point guards, right? Picking up Danny Granger and Larry Johnson will let you compete with even the best point guards in the game. Both of which huge player builds. Also, by the way, I just wanted to point out, Danny Granger is equally good at the small forward, and that is not talked about enough, and that's because the position is so overstuffed with like very solid options. But Granger is a better three-point hunter than Larry Johnson. I think Larry Johnson is better at a lot of things. I think the one thing that Danny Granger is superior at is three-point hunting, because I think his jump shot is a little bit better and he has better badges for it. Now, other than that, I would say the cards are so evenly matched as far as like how good they are that it would be reckless of me to say one is necessarily better than the other. Now, the reason I have Larry Johnson at 2 and Granger at 1 is because I think Granger is a little bit easier to use. Like, I think if you were to have not used either of these players all year and you were just to pick one of these up, I think Granger would be the one that you would have the most immediate success with, and I think Larry Johnson is the one that you would, through grinding, have more success with long term, or at least, after certain amount of games. Once you start to get used to the card a little bit, I think you'll start to succeed a little bit more with Larry Johnson because he's ridiculous. But Danny Granger is an elite level pickup and play card. Like, you can buy this card straight off the auctions, do absolutely nothing to him, and he is elite. You don't have to add any badges. You don't have to add any stat boosts. Like, Danny Granger is elite straight out of the box. He is the number 1 card on this list and the number 1 card in my heart. This has been Casey Kasem. As always, it has been your boy Cheap Ludes. I butchered this video a little bit, but it's all good. Have a good day, you guys. I'll catch you tomorrow when the Swish 5-packs come out and I have horrible odds. Also, for those of you who care, the podcast is coming back, and I will definitely keep you posted on the community post as to where and when that's going to go up. Peace.